Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 21 of Women's Wrestling Focus, brought to you by SEScoops and hosted by me, Ella J of A Wrestling Gal Podcast. And we are officially here. We have arrived to the year of 2022, and 2021 was an absolute crazy year. But as we look on to 2022, I kind of wanted to take a look at 5 women I think are really going to make waves this year in the year of 2022 and are a few people to keep your eye on. So, without further ado, let's get on to my top 5 women's wrestlers to watch in 2022. Now, starting off this list is a woman who I've seen on multiple other lists, and rightfully so. I am talking about the Megasis, this Greek goddess, Megan Bayne. Now, Megan Bayne had an incredible 2021, and if that is any indication of what her 2022 could potentially be like, I am totally ready for it. Of course, she won ECWA's Super 8 tournament, and in shocking fashion, she came in as a last-minute replacement for Kaya McKenna, who unfortunately suffered an injury, but Megan Bayne took the opportunity and went all the way to the finals and went on to win the entire Super 8 tournament. So that itself is history making. We've also seen her on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation numerous times now. And of course, she's a huge staple in Beyond Wrestling, WWR+, and she is the ICW Women's Champion. So Megan Bayne is definitely one to watch as we go into 2022 now. She's making a lot of waves, and her character is nothing I've ever seen before as this Greek goddess with her 2 loyal, I don't know if you would call them proteges, but Megan Bayne, the Megasis, I'm definitely on that train. She is definitely one to watch this year. She's been doing incredible things, has a very intriguing moveset, and really embodies what it means to be a Greek goddess. So, I mean, she makes me want to be one. So Megan Bayne is definitely one to watch. If you haven't checked out her stuff in AEW Dark, highly suggested. And also, of course, Beyond Wrestling and WWR+. And she will be coming to Capital Championship Wrestling soon as well. So she's already starting off the year on a hot streak. And she's definitely a name that I've heard quite a lot. And I definitely have to agree. Megan Bayne is definitely one to watch in 2022. Now, on the other side of the world, in Sydney, Australia, there is another woman who I am a big fan of, and as Australia has now officially opened its borders and opened its gates, the Australian wrestling scene seems to be getting back to normal, which means more women's wrestling. And of course, number 2 on my list is the bad bitch, the leader of the Bad Bitch Nation, Kingsley. Now, Kingsley took on the role as the leader of the Bad Bitch Nation last year before Australia went into lockdown. She defeated Jack Bonza and reprised the nations into the Bad Bitch Nation and has really started a solid singles run. She has already had some matches in 2022 against the likes of Jessica Troy, who she's already defeated multiple times. And again, Jessica Troy is also now the new MCW Women's Champion. She's definitely one to watch as well, but Kingsley is already starting off the year of 2022 on a hot streak, as over there it's summertime. So her summer tour has been fairly successful so far, as she has now, I guess, officially transitioned from a tag team wrestler to now a single star, and of course, being the leader of a whole faction itself. I'm excited to see where her character goes next. She's definitely evolved over the last 2 years, especially during the middle of this pandemic, but she's really transformed herself. And of course, she's always got the tea. And I mean, Kingsley is definitely one to watch in 2022, and that's the tea. And of course, I have to talk about some of the UK girls that I have on my mind. Number 3 on my personal list of women to watch in 2022 is a woman who at one point in 2021 held 5 championships and who recently also made her NXT UK debut. And I am talking about Lizzie Evo. Of course, at the time of recording this, Lizzie Evo is still the first ever Catch Pro Wrestling Women's Champion. Again, Catch Pro Wrestling really came around in about mid-2021, and Lizzie dominated that tournament and was crowned the inaugural Catch Pro Wrestling Women's Champion. She is also the PCW champion still at the time of recording this, and of course, she's a former TNT Women's Champion. She absolutely dominated the UK scene over 2021, and she's just going to continue to do so. I think her making her NXT UK debut might be a sign of even greater things to come now that 2022 is here and the UK scene has been flourishing again, barring any COVID restrictions, but she's definitely one who has stepped up and really emerged, I think, at the top of the crop of the women's talent in the UK scene. She's definitely one who hasn't been on the grander scales like a Progress Wrestling or like a Pro Wrestling Eve, but Lizzie Evo has definitely forged her own path, and she's definitely one to watch in 2022. Again, she's really come into her own and has really become more confident, and you can see it in her craft. And I mean, along those same lines, number 4, I have to talk about Alexis Falcon, who was the one who actually took the title off of Lizzie Evo and became the new TNT Women's Champion in November. And Alexis Falcon is definitely interesting as well. We've seen her in Progress Wrestling. She also recently made her Pro Wrestling Eve debut. And so Alexis Falcon is racking up quite the string of victories lately. She's obviously been on the WWE Network as a part of Progress, and she's really come into her own as kind of the Iron Queen. And so Alexis Falcon, I definitely think, is one to watch as well on the UK scene. Again, her and Lizzie haven't been the main players on the UK scene over the last year, really, but they're definitely been, I think, two of the most consistent people, if that makes sense. They have incredible matches, and so I'm definitely looking forward to see what they can do in 2022 to step up their game even more. I mean, they've had a match already. Alexis Falcon defeated Lizzie Evo for the TNT Women's Championship, and now Alexis has, I guess, a target on her back as Lizzie looks to maybe reclaim it. And definitely those two are two amazing women to watch in 2022. And of course, rounding out my list is lightning in a bottle. Sandra Moon, your FSW Women's Champion. And Sandra Moon is based in the Las Vegas, Nevada area and a lot throughout the West Coast scene with appearances in like California and Arizona, and recently made her Impact Wrestling debut against Masha Slamovich. And although Sandra fell short, I think already starting off the year in 2022 with, again, a great opponent like Masha Slamovich really, I think, is telling of great future things to come for her. Of course, she captured the Future Stars of Wrestling Women's Championship last year after she defeated Maserati. Again, Maserati, former Ring of Honor star. So she's already working her way up the West Coast scene, and definitely one to watch as she has this cool kind of space intergalactic persona going on, and I love it. Obviously, I'm sporting her hat today. She really, truly is lightning in a bottle. She has this very, very cool repertoire and persona that I just honestly love, and you can see her thriving and really having a great time being champion and being out there. So I hope to see her getting more opportunities, maybe in an AEW or an Impact Wrestling, but I mean, she's already starting off the year hot with a recent appearance on Impact Wrestling, and she still is your reigning FSW Women's Champion. So Sandra Moon, I think, is going to do great things in 2022. Now, I definitely do think there is going to be a lot more women making major waves this year, like a Mighty Myra, based on the California scene, like a Lainey Luck. We did see her last year, too, in Ring of Honor. And, of course, she's been based a lot in Chicago and Texas as well, and making some trips to Florida. Lainey Luck has been everywhere, too. I think finally, hopefully this year is the year that we get to see her more on television. We also did get to see her on AEW Dark, so I'm excited for Lady Luck's future as well. But for the sake of this list, that is my top 5 women's wrestlers to watch. But of course, I want to know yours. So let me know down below in the comments, who are some women's wrestlers you think that more people need to be paying attention to this year? Who do you think is really going to break out this year in 2022? There's a lot of potential for breakout stars on the main stage. There's been a lot of people working their way up. Obviously now Masha Slamovich and Lady Frost are in Impact Wrestling. They're going to be breaking out even more. They definitely have the potential to rise up even more. But again, let me know down below in the comments, who are some people you think we need to be paying attention to this year in 2022? There's so many competitors out there, and so I want to know, who are your favorites? Who do you think we need to be checking out? I'm definitely want to hear them all, so I can go check them out myself too. And of course, again, Happy New Year, and I can't believe we're here in 2022. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SEScoops so you can be informed on new content here like Women's Wrestling Focus and more fun future content here on SEScoops. That we got a lot of cool stuff coming up for everybody. So for SEScoops and Women's Wrestling Focus, this is Ella J signing off.